Both of our state representatives, Senator Chandler came in and Senator State Representative Naughton, to give us their perspective of the financial crisis that the state is faced with as far as revenue and the impact of local aid. It continues to erode, and we will be having budget review meetings with different departments in town next week to clearly look at flat level spending as well as 5 and 10% reduction options for their FY03 budgets. So that's just a quick summary of our budget discussion. It was, I think, helpful to have basically reinforcement of the message from the state representatives that our conservative approach to spending is the appropriate tack to take at this point in time. With that said, we'll move on the agenda to a review of the minutes.
Mr. Chairman, I'm sorry, Steve.
Mr. Chairman, I'll move that we accept the minutes of, we got a bunch here, February 20th times 3 and 1 for the February 27th joint meeting.
I'll second it, Mr. Chairman.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Next on the agenda, Jolisa, if you'd like to get Michael for the administrator's report.
Boy, right on time.
Oh, sure, what the heck. I'm getting used to doing the administrator's report. Our administrator is the proud father of a new baby boy, Matthew, so we'd like to congratulate him, even though he's not here in the room. We'll do it again later on in the meeting, I guess.
Absolutely.
Although I do see some more gray hairs popping in his head, so I must be agreeing with him.
We thought it was the budget.
Yeah. Under administrator's report, there's a Boy Scout fundraiser. Selectmen have received a request from Al Cotton for use of the Town Hall auditorium for Friday, May 10th.
Mr. Chairman, I'm just going back on this because now that I thought we were going to, we asked for people who were concerned or interested in
Yep.
serving on the committee, that we were going to appoint a committee and that they were going to start. I thought immediately. I thought this was something that was going to be put in place, so.
We were supposed to advertise. Do you know if that ad went up?
Did we ever get any response from people?
Do we advertise it?
Because again, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. We've got all, well, at least,
bunch. Yeah,
we've
it's
got a
4
whole
or
bunch,
5.
so we're defeating the whole purpose of what we voted on several weeks ago.
Well, I'd make
We need to advertise where you get the...
a motion that we just table until, the next meeting. Hopefully we have something to set. If not, we'll have to take some sort of other action.
That's fine.
I would prefer to do that, because I think we're
That's
defeating the whole
fine.
purpose.
That's fine.
that'd
Motion to table all the requests for use
That'd
of
be my
Town Hall.
Second that, Mr. Chairman.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion to direct the town administrator to put an ad in the local papers for a town hall use commission.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
I think they did that. He did that 2 weeks ago too, didn't he? That was my understanding.
I don't think Jolisa. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I want to make it, I don't think, I mean, if we got it in for this week, I think that's all we need.
Yeah,
We're
we're
just
looking
talking
for
about,
volunteers. We're looking for a commission of
just
5.
townspeople, yeah.
A total of 5 people to meet once a month on, I believe, the 3rd Wednesday, to basically review educational standpoint for the public for use of the hall, and if we have, or they may have questions regarding applicant's request for further information, that commission will dig deeper and get
Just to
those.
touch on it, the one I'm looking at here for, I guess, 2 weeks if we do it, or if we're going to meet next week, I don't know, but there's one here for the Clinton High School Senior Hop, and it's Saturday, March 23rd of this year, so I don't know how the board feels about that. If, need be, I can rescind. I just don't want to.
That can't be right, though.
Put them in.
March 23rd, that's next week.
That can't be, that can't be. I think it is.
Kind of wait till the last
Kind
minute.
It's
of
next week.
Last minute.
That's next Saturday, yeah. So, it just caught my eye, I thought it was 2003. What the?
Yeah, I'm
Unless
just-
it's a typo.
It can't be. It can't be.
For use next week?
Does that conflict with anything for next, no?
Rescind.
Yeah, I'll resend my motion, I guess, then to table all 5 that are on here.
Is there a second?
Second, Mr. Chairman.
All in favor?
Aye.
I'll vote aye, but again, this is exactly as Mary Rose stated, this is what we want to avoid.
Right.
You know, we're to take action on this because it's a week away.
Just kind of giving a buffer, because it is the high
Yeah.
school, and then there may be something happen there, I don't know, but
Well,
it is a senior hop, so.
can we grant the request under the new rules and regulations?
Oh,
Even
yeah.
though there isn't a commission in
Well,
place?
those are in
That's a
place
given,
anyway.
yeah,
That's
that's a
a
given.
given.
As far as our fee structure and all that, that's our,
Yeah, I
That's-
mean, we both served on the committee, Mac, and I don't mind sitting down with these people to find out what their intent is and what
Sure.
their plans are. Because I think, you know, again, obviously they knew this, and believe me, I'm not opposed to it, but again, they must have known well in advance of, you know, something like this. I mean, I know that's a big event for the kids, so. But,
no correspondence prior to this letter request from last week. Okay,
well, Mr. Chairman, I'll move that we grant the request, but I also, in that, with that, they sit with the committee that was on.
okay. So we'll need to set up something with Libby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Motion's been made by Mary Rose. Is there a second on
I'll second.
approving the senior hop contingent upon a review with our use committee that we had? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The others, we will motion to table.
I'll make a motion to table the rest.
Is there a second?
Second, Mr. Chairman.
All in favor of tabling those?
Aye.
outside the senior hop?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Dog officers report for the month of February. Request for approval.
Also move, Mr. Chairman.
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Livingstone's Christian Schools requested a banner be hung over High Street for a fundraiser they have, fundraising auction being held on April 13th.
Mr.
Pleasure
Chair,
of the board.
oh, okay. Mr. Chairman, I also move.
Is there a second?
Second, Mr. Chairman.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Chapter 90 funding, Selectmen's received notification that the Mass Highway Department will release the latest appropriation of Chapter 90 funding in the amount of $83,741.71. We need to authorize myself to sign the required paperwork.
Mr. Chairman, also move.
I'll
Second.
gladly second that, Mr. Chairman.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I'll defer to Dean.
Late night closings. Mike, is this for March or April?
These are for,
March.
For March?
It says March 202.
and I think
Caught up.
I know I moved on the last time,
Yeah, I
and any
think-
other requests that came in for
March.
March and St. Patrick's Night.
All right, so I'm
Yeah.
thinking, is this
I
April?
think, these, I think most of these are for March, so I've done that we had done them at the last meeting. But we did get a request in yesterday asking about St. Patrick's Day, so.
Well, I moved
I
that,
think it-
that
I
was,
think it
that
was
was part
covered.
of my motion the last time, that it just be, you know, as we do it during the course of the month, if they come in and it's
The approval.
in between
Yeah.
the time of us meeting, that it go
I
through
don't
the
think we need to
chief.
take any action.
So it's okay for St. Patrick's Day as well. Okay,
I think, I'm sure that was my
Yeah,
motion, I know
believe
it was.
was.
Yeah.
It should be in the minutes.
great, okay. So just read that. Meeting.
They do a lot for you.
Okay,
Hold the new business, Mike?
old and new, Michael?
Okay, thank you. Just to bring to the board's attention, there was a letter received from Elizabeth Donahue, who is registrar of voters for the town of Clinton, that she is resigning from service. She has submitted that letter to the selectmen. If the board accepts this letter, in order to fill that position, the Democratic Town Committee must submit a list of nominations list of three individuals that they nominate, and then this Board of Selectmen would have to vote and pick a person off that list of three. The Registrar of Voters, it's party balanced, and Mrs. Donahue was a Democrat, so she would have to be replaced by a Democrat. So if the board so accepts this letter of resignation, we would then need to notify the Democratic Town Committee to submit a list of three individuals for the board to choose from.
Mr. Chairman, I'll move that we accept Mrs. Donahue's resignation with great regret. She certainly has served on that committee for years, and Betty's just a terrific person. Wish her all the health and happiness.
I'll second, and my sentiments exactly. I'd like to thank her for her years of service to the town.
Do you also, do you want to amend your motion to also notify the Democratic Town Committee?
Yeah, I'll add that to my motion that we as well notify the Democratic Town Committee to proceed with their legal obligation to submit three names.
Second.
Any other discussion? Then again, Councilman, thanks to the town for great service, and again, appreciate the support of the process. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. The next is a request from the American Legion for asking if the town of Clinton would sponsor one student to attend the 2002 Boys State Convention at Stonehill College from June 8th through June 14th. I believe that the board has supported this in the past out of the Civic Fund appropriation.
Mr. Chairman, I would move that if we have any available funds, that we do as we have in the past and sponsor one of the gentlemen. It's all boys that go, Michael? Is it all boys that go?
I believe so, yes.
Just under discussion, what's the exact sum that we have?
260.
No, what's the exact sum, I guess, what I'm getting at? Is it in the Civic Fund, do we know?
The balance right now is $1,134. We started out with $3,500, we're down to $1,134 at this point, so,
Thanks.
yeah.
Right. Is there a second to
I'll second that,
the
Mr.
motion?
Chairman.
Any further discussion? Being none, all in favor?
Aye.
I think that's still one of the last bastions.
Thank you. The next is just to bring to the board's attention that we did receive an email from a resident of Rigby Road relative to problems with illegal dumping up near his property. There's a stretch of undeveloped land there, and he has done a lot himself. The DPW has been, he's been working with the DPW. He goes there and cleans up himself, but as soon as it's cleaned, a couple weeks later, there's more trash there again. So he had just bringing the problem to the, to the board's level and see if there's anything we could do to help. And also, there's a beaver dam at the bridge right there on the footbridge there at Rigby Road, and I don't believe we're able to take that down. So that floods his property, that beaver dam, the water
But I don't
overflows.
think we have the legal authority to move the beavers out of town.
No.
I think the Conservation Commission or someone else has to look at that.
Yeah, and the DPW has been, they're able to keep it in check enough so that it doesn't erode the street, so they do have authority to do that. So they do go there periodically to try and keep it under check, but we don't have the authority to tear it down
Can the
totally.
Concom look into it?
Yeah, I think the Department of Fisheries and Wildlife would be involved on the state level. I think what they would need to do, we would need to trap the beavers and relocate them.
Can we entertain a motion to notify them that we need their assistance at that location?
I'll make a motion that we do that we call the Wildlife and Fisheries ASAP and get that cleaned up.
Second that motion, Mr. Chairman.
And then the discussion, put the beavers on notice that they must be
Stop
relocated.
building dams.
Registered mail or?
Thank you.
And regarding the illegal dumping, I'd entertain a motion that we just request the police, maybe increase patrols down there and see if we can catch who's doing it.
I'll make the motion for Rigby Road, and I'd like to actually tie in another road with that, if I could. I don't know if I have to do that in another motion, but I guess I could tie it in with this one.
I would think you can tie both.
You do it together.
South Meadow Road too, I'd like to just make a motion that we have some police patrols up there, because I know there's a lot of legal dumping up there too, you know. So that'd be my motion.
I'll second that motion, Mr. Chairman.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Committee reports? Mark?
Recycling committee met, I believe, 2 weeks ago, and we did set a date for a recycling day down at the recycling center on Saturday, April 6th. It's going to be from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. The last one we had was back in the first weekend of November 2001, last year, and it was of great success. So we're looking to hopefully have another good turnout and clean out people's garages.
And this is an opportunity for people to bring dryers, washers.
Yeah, there's going to be a fee structure set up. Actually, we are meeting tomorrow. The recycling committee is meeting up here in the upper conference room at the town hall at 5 o'clock tomorrow. So if any citizens out there interested, they can come in and join in if they have any comments or suggestions. And the second thing from the recycling committee, I don't know if, Michael, you want to touch on this? We did receive me and myself and Michael back in August, the summer, put in for a couple grants for assistance, and we did get some notification on the last meeting that we did receive the technical assistance grant. So that's one thing that we do have coming to us, so I'm quite excited about that, and it's, I think there's going to be some great things coming in the field of recycling in the near future with that. And Michael, if you want to jump in, or Stephen also is on the commission, just elaborate on any more.
Sure. Maybe just a little bit on the grant itself. I think, as Selectman Akabuchi indicated, I think it's exciting to have the opportunity to get this technical assistance grant. What the state will do is they will pay for a consultant to come in. They'll look at our program, what we're offering for solid waste and recycling right now, and try to evaluate what we're doing compared to what's out there in the industry, what's out there in the market, maybe better ways to do it, maybe cost-effective ways of doing it, maybe possibilities if we wanted to get to curbside recycling or to increase our service in recycling and solid waste. So they'll just come in with a blank slate, they'll evaluate what we have, bring in their expertise from what's happening out in the industry, and try to make some recommendations on a report on how we could do things better. So that, I think, will kind of really go a long way in moving us forward on recycling. And that's totally paid for by DEP. Also, since that meeting, we also got a letter that there were two aspects, technical assistance, and then there was equipment grant. And on the equipment, we did receive a number of educational kits and mailers that we can do. Again, DEP will pay to send out consumer mailers to every household, which details our recycling drop-off center, the times, what we accept, what we don't accept, when it's available, and how they can get more information. Also, we're going to be getting some junk mail kits, some don't trash grass brochures and composting brochures, a lot of brochures that can be put into the library and town hall for public education, but also the mailer, I think, is going to be a big thing as well. It just helps let people know that we have a drop-off center, trying to get more participation. And also, we will be getting a universal waste shed, which will be delivered to the DPW garage, the drop-off center, and that can be used to accept mercury and different hazardous waste that we can accept, store there, yeah, and then we can, dispose of them periodically in proper manner.
Computer screens, things like that, they're starting to handle differently too, I think.
Right, that's
Yeah.
what we've been taking on our recycling days, we've been taking the TVs and
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
But just to touch on too, what Michael said, that the other exciting thing about this is with these type of brochures and stuff, and the money that we're getting from DEP, this allows us to go now into the schools. That's somewhere I'd like to go and educate the younger people, future generations on recycling, and get more of the young people involved. Because right now, from what I see, in my opinion, just from being down there, even on the weekends, you have a lot of the elderly and then the big gap with the younger people not recycling as much as the elderly. So I think that you need to educate the young people and bring them in to recycling. I mean,
Well, great work, both of you, on securing the grant for the town. Hopefully it
thank you.
saves our overall costs in waste removal. So,
Exactly, yeah,
Thank you.
that's hopefully a big plus, is the more you recycle, the
Yeah,
less we
I
pay
think that's the
in
main goal here
tonnage.
too,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
to keep the
Yeah.
fees down.
Exactly.
Any other committee reports?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I have one just to update, and I'm sure,
Quick, yes.
yeah, well, yeah, I just, I know Selectman Mendoza has been making inquiries about the signs for outside the town hall renovations committee. We met 2 weeks ago. In fact, it was the same night that the recycling committee, we met in there, they were in the other room. But we have ordered they're actually going to be 2 bronze signs, and we've ordered them through Reganini. And it'll be about 6 weeks before they're actually be done, and they'll be up. And I think they'll really be quite attractive. There'll be one on one side of the, you know, where the dome lights are on. Excuse me, one will be on one side, one will be on the other side. So they're just doing the shop drawings now. So one will probably have like, I don't know exactly by memory, but probably have like 242 High Street, and then the other one will say Town Hall, Clinton Town Hall, but they'll...
So these would be like
Yeah.
bronze
Yep.
plaques right on the
Right.
granite out there? Oh,
Yep.
great.
Yeah,
Oh, nice.
so it should be. And hopefully for the next meeting, we'll have a complete breakdown of what's been expended and what's been done out of the money, and what are some of the remaining things that will ultimately be done within the next couple of months. So we'll give everybody a up-to-date, actually, a lot really has been done up to this point, so we'll hopefully have that for you, but I wanted to just bring up to date on that, Steve, and let the rest of the board know that,
That's the one you get to, that's good.
I'm sorry?
That's the one you get to.
Yeah, well, it's been something that, well, we had intended to do too all along.
That's good.
And it was just, we were looking at this Walton company in Boston, and kept trying to get them, you know, to bring us some information and stuff. And at the last meeting, we talked about Reganini, and I guess Tom sat down with Reganini and basically told him pretty much what we wanted, and stated that he could do it, and actually at substantial cost savings, so.
Great. Any other committee reports? Being none, public comment? I'll open it up for public comment. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, please.
I'm Gary Thorne from Howard Street. I've been in front of you several times before. I'm trying to find out the status of the dogs that have been banned. It's been some months ago. I've been through court a couple of times, in front of you several times, and they're still there.
We will notify solicitor. You've been to court on that, correct?
Yeah, I think at this point, we really need the dog officer to go to the property to confirm if the dog is still there.
Okay. Is there a motion to request the dog officer to...
Also move, Mr.
Is
Chairman.
there a second? Any discussion? Other than under discussion, the dog officer should follow up on the directive of the board as well as the decision of the court. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Follow up.
Thank you.
Any other public comment? Being none, I'll remind everyone in the public that the Leprechaun Parade is this Saturday at noontime, and Sheridan's himself is going to be running that with, I believe, over 44,000 leprechauns coming into the community. So if there is traffic congestion, bear with everyone on Saturday. But it is also a tribute to Dick O'Toole and Tommy Grealis, a young man we lost definitely way too soon. So two great individuals and great Clintonians will be hopefully in the hearts and minds of everyone on Saturday. I know they will be in Eddie's, so hopefully people can come on and enjoy the day and the community spirit of what Ed pulls together for a fantastic afternoon. And I believe potentially some of the gubernatorial candidates will be coming to town, possibly one or two of them. So it's an opportunity for the public to see some of the state officials, and you get a good chuckle. So with that, any other public comment? Being none, motion to go into Oh, there is informationally, excuse me. We did have a letter from AT&T Broadband that they're going to be closing their Clinton office with the coming retirement of Mrs. Burke and Mrs. O'Malley, who served numerous years, I guess, since cable came to Clinton. So they'll be retiring soon. We'd like to wish them both the very best of luck, and I know the peace of not having the phone have to ring because of cable problems. So sorry, cable company, but they have to answer all those phone calls. So we wish them the very best after the office closes, I believe effective May 31st. But the studio and locals programming will still be occurring. Correct. So just as far as customer service, they will no longer have an office open in the town.
Mr. Chairman, Article D, under informational, might be of public,
Yeah, the
Interest.
Clinton Housing Authority's 5-year agency plan is available for public review and inspection at their office. And their office hours are between 9:30 and 3:30. So anyone interested in that, that plan is available. Other than that, more just informational for ourselves. Michael, anything else? Yes.
I think the other conference starts at 11:30,
Yeah, it is 11:30.
11:30. Well, they got to gather. It's at least 30 minutes to get them in the rope.
It's usually a big job.
I hold the rope. I'm one of the people that holds the rope. I think it's a good 25 minutes just to gather them up. You know what? They may start the festivities here at 12, and the parade may start at 11:30.
They march up, don't they?
Yeah. Well, they scamper. We kind of keep them in the
we
rope.
don't have to house them.
Yes. So correction to me, and I appreciate that, Michael, that the parade may start at 11:30, or will be starting at 11:30 from the Alps, and they take a tour up
Church Street.
well, actually High Street, Union Street, High Street, and then up Church, all the way up to the Town Hall auditorium this year rather than the Corcoran House. Again, it can be quite a bit of fun. And I feel bad for the people that get their shillelaghs and have to take the roasting, but so be it. Okay, if there's no other public comment, motion to go into executive session under Article 3 for the downtown streetscape.
Make the motion.
Motion's been made and seconded.
Second.
Roll call votes required. Mark?
Aye.
Mary Rose? Stephen?
Aye.
Dean? Aye. Chair votes